and welcome to Leeds Met News.
I'm Daisy Castle.
And I'm Alex Almond. Here are tonight's headlines. A special honour awarded to Anne Maguire at the Women's Achievement Awards.
Supermarket chain Morrison's announces more job cuts.
And children's lunchboxes are to be scrutinised for a study into childhood obesity.
Anne Maguire, the Leeds schoolteacher who was stabbed to death last month, was today honoured during this year's Yorkshire Women's Achievement Awards. The awards took place at the Royal Armouries this afternoon and Anya Swan was there.
School teacher Anne Maguire, who was stabbed to death in her classroom last week, is being honoured here today at the Yorkshire Women's Achievement Awards, with proceedings going to the Sue Ryder Hospice charity.
We're in the 28th year and we're here to raise funds for the Sue Ryder Wheatfield Hospice and also to celebrate some amazing Yorkshire women. It's about recognising people who aren't celebrated day to day but make such an amazing difference.
There's so many fantastic women in Yorkshire from all walks of life doing all sorts of amazing things.
There won't be a dry eye in the auditorium.
Anne Maguire has been posthumously nominated for the Education Award at today's ceremony. The 61-year-old Spanish teacher was known by her students as the mother of the school and calm in the storm. Guests and organisers have expressed great sadness but great respect for the Corpus Christi Catholic College teacher.
It's a remarkable award. I think it's wonderful that she has been nominated in this way.
On behalf of Anne, to say the 40 years that she gave to education, it's fantastic. So blessed.
It's such bad news, and just now for things like this, just have to cheer up.
She was a remarkable woman, and I think she goes into that category, put her into a category of an unsung hero. The reaction to what happened has been amazing. She truly touched a lot of people's hearts, and she made a lot of difference to a lot of people's lives. So I think it's entirely worthy that she's being honoured today.
Anya Swan, Leeds Met News.
Yorkshire-based supermarket chain Morrison's has announced it will be cutting 100 jobs. The news comes shortly after the superstore announced it was cutting over 1,200 product prices in order to compete with cheaper stores Lidl and Aldi. Sophie Demaro was at the store in Leeds city centre.
Morrison's in Yorkshire have confirmed that they will axe 100 jobs. The revelation comes after the supermarket giant failed to meet targets after disappointing Easter sales. The poor trading section led to a slump of 7.1% in sales, unprecedented for the retail giant. Morrison's has struggled to regain customers after many have deserted the supermarket in favour of cheaper alternatives like Aldi and Lidl. When Leeds Met News contacted Morrison's, they stated that at this time they had no further information on the issue. With sale records from Aldi and Lidl continuing to grow, we've come to the streets of Leeds to see if shoppers will go elsewhere to find a bargain.
Well, Morrison's are in a load of problems at the moment because they haven't had an online offering, whereas everybody else has. So their sales are down, if you read the papers, 8%. So, at the end of the day, they've got to cut their costs. They've gone into a price war with Tesco's and Asda's and whatnot. They have to make their business decision.
Well, it's hard enough now for people to get jobs as it is, without having to lose your jobs. But it's a climate, isn't it? And it's terrible, but what can we do about it?
I do shop at Morrison's and I think it's really sad about the cuts. I think it's really awful. I think people losing their jobs, I think they should try and cut back money other ways. Food's very expensive, but it seems to be getting more expensive at the moment.
Yeah. So it's obvious that the people of Leeds are saddened by the job cuts. But will they shop elsewhere? Only time will tell. Sophie Demaro, Leeds Met News.
Labour leader Ed Miliband has said the party would not be able to guarantee finding a way to save Kellingley Colliery. The last remaining deep pit mine announced it was to shut last month, axing 700 jobs, but Mr Miliband said a Labour government would do all it could to try and find a buyer for the pit.
Leeds' economy has been growing at the same rate as the capital. London and Leeds have both risen by 3% over the past year. According to Total Jobs, the number of careers advertised across Yorkshire went up by 15% during the first quarter of 2014.
Roads around Leeds city centre and beyond will be closed from 4 a.m. on Sunday morning as 7,000 runners take part in the 13.1-mile Leeds Half Marathon. Road closures will include the Head Row between Oxford Place and Briggate, Cookridge Street, New Briggate and North Street.
According to the World Health Organization, childhood obesity is one of the most serious global public health challenges of the 21st century. School dinner menus have been overhauled, and now a survey into the food parents are packing into their children's lunchboxes is to be examined. Lydia Taylor reports.
With the rate of child obesity on the rise, a Leeds Metropolitan lecturer has created a survey for parents to fill out on what they put in their children's lunchboxes. We spoke to lecturer Katie Austin about the importance of children's lunchboxes.
That midday meal is really, really important for energy in the afternoon, concentration in the classroom in the afternoon. So a healthy lunch is really important for educational attainment and also for health as well. It's really important that you try to get the 5 food groups into a child's packed lunch, the 5 main food groups. So that would be starchy foods, so something like bread or pasta or rice, fruit and vegetables, at least 1 portion, maybe 2, milk or dairy product, so something like a yoghurt is normally quite a healthy option, and some sort of protein as well, so either some meat filling within a sandwich or tuna or egg as vegetarian options. The last food group is foods that are high in fats and sugars, and it's not essential to have those foods within the packed lunch, but very often children like to have a treat at the end of the meals.
28% of children between 2 and 15 are overweight in the UK.
It is still a huge problem. Although we're seeing a plateau, there is still a slight rise, and the numbers of children that are overweight or obese is still really concerning.
Dr. Hannah Ensaf has created this lunchbox survey to monitor children's diets. School-packed lunches can play an important part in children's nutrition, with children spending 190 days of the year at school. More significantly, they provide a link between the home and school and can represent a family's provision of food. Packed lunches have also been identified as a factor in children's diets and have been highlighted with respect to the Drive for School Food Forum.
A survey looking at the content of packed lunches is really useful to give some insight into the types of foods that children are consuming. It could be really useful to inform things like school packed lunch policies, so actually the schools could look at the data collected and try to implement a policy where they encourage parents to include healthier foods within the lunchbox.
So it's clear to see lunch is a very important meal of the day for children. Search for the Packed Lunch Project online to complete the survey. I'm Lydia Taylor reporting from Leeds Met News.
The Environment Agency have sent a special operations team into the canals beneath Albion Mills in Armley following the fire at the site last month. The blaze sent pollution billowing into the canal, polluting the water and killing hundreds of fish. Oxygen has been pumped back into the water for several days to ensure high air levels, and the agency have advised people to keep themselves and pets out of the water for the foreseeable future.
The hefty price tag accompanied by designer goods often means they are a luxury for many of us. Yet at the Corn Exchange in Leeds, something exciting for the shopaholics amongst us is taking place. Darius Taylor McCall has the story.
I'm down here at one of Leeds' most iconic buildings, the Corn Exchange, where I've been talking to the owner of Pre-Love Designer Sale, which kicks off a huge weekend event where there will be clothes such as Louis Vuitton, Christian Louboutin and even Mulberry. I've been talking to the store's owner about the event.
This weekend in the Corn Exchange we are doing a massive designer sale which is going to take place downstairs in the plaza. We're basically selling about 1,000 designer items from the likes of Whistles and Beast to Alexander McQueen, Chanel, we've got Temple here, Acne, basically things Selfridges owns and then they get their money next week. So we get all kinds of different people. We have celebrities like Zoe Ball selling, or we'll have just your everyday woman who just loves clothes and wants to get rid of them. So we've got some brilliant items coming up and everything's at bargain prices really. It's amazing what people bring in, some suitcases. We go through it all, so make sure we keep everything that's all beautiful and hand-picked and it's not, there's no marks on it and things like that. We go through it all and make sure it's kind of on trend, it's not too dated, and then it all goes through the weekend sale.
The Pre-Love Designer Sale is from 10 until 6 on Saturday and 11 until 4:30 on Sunday. This is Darius Taylor McCall reporting for Leeds Met News.
And now to the sport. The season may have ended, but the drama continues at Leeds United as it emerged that hidden cameras located inside the Ellen Road boardroom were installed following claims of Class A drugs misuse. Former Managing Director David Hay gave a full statement to West Yorkshire Police under caution after allegation of the club's money being fraudulently used to purchase the equipment. He says he was fully aware of the installations after receiving reports of drug use between January and March this year. Hay quit his role at the club last month, but his exit is not believed to be linked to this investigation.
It's been a turbulent 2014 so far for the Championship club, and that shows no signs of letting up. Our reporter David Bowers has been out and about speaking to fans.
Leeds United owner Massimo Cellino has made his first steps at cutting costs for the club. Thorpe Arch, the training ground which is based in Wetherby, is set to close in the summer and will be relocating to here at Elland Road.
Leeds are taking the unprecedented step of closing the training complex with plans to reopen it at the end of June. The writing has been on the wall for some time, with the club reportedly losing £1 million a month. The annual cost of Thorpe Arch is £450,000 and the complex is set to close after the academy season is over. I spoke to fans from the supporters club who are fully behind Cellino's decision.
It looks like he's enjoying his work and stuff. He's put a lot of money into the club. Basically all the fans and all the players want us to be back in the Prem. It's where we belong. We've got a lot of history up in the Premiership, massive players, and we're not, hopefully not going to be that team that sells our best players really.
Yeah, I was a bit wary of Cellino to start with, but like now that we keep older players like Ross McCormack, I think he's one of the right men to take us to the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's anyone else that I can think of that could come in and do a better job than Cellino.
Despite Cellino's cost-cutting measures, the Leeds fans are confident that the Italian can bring back the glory days to Elland Road. David Bowers, Leeds Met News.
Meanwhile, Leeds Rhinos extended their lead at the top of the Super League table with a 22-14 win away to Castleford last night. The Rhinos had to come from behind to secure the 2 points, and they remain unbeaten in their last 7 games.
And that's it, everything for us at Leeds Met News. Have a good weekend.
Good night.